I don't know if I can be heard. I'm currently using a boom mic. Well, that was silly. Not a boom mic, but just a noise canceling mic. It looks like a little, let me show it to you. It looks like a little boom mic, right? Now I gotta clip it back on. I'm just taking some time to enjoy myself. Well, just to get some time. The foolish thing is I actually have a slight cold right now. I don't really like taking medicines, but I had to take a little bit today. Today is Wednesday, I believe. And let me show you what I actually accomplished yesterday in the garden when I put those videos out on the garden. When I put those videos out in the garden of Feodora. Let me show you what I accomplished. I will say before I begin, if you're not already a friend of mine on the Garden of Feodora on Instagram, please hop aboard the Freedom Train. But yeah, let me show you what I got done. Let me put this mic back on real quick though. So let me sit this down. I apologize. Yeah, there we go. Let me see. I have a lot of hair, so I'm trying to make sure that my hair is not in the way of this microphone. Let me also put my... Alright, so I guess let's begin. And I'm trying to let my... I wear a necklace too. I'm trying to let my necklace get all in the way of what I'm doing here. So let me fix that too. Good grief. I'm a mess right now. I'll put it in my pocket. So let me show you what I did. Now we begin. I cleaned up. You know, we had a bunch of plastics out here. I had a bunch of old potting things from last year. Look at this guy. I love that cat. That's my buddy. I had a bunch of plastics out here. I got those up, cleaned it up. As you can see, this looks a lot cleaner. Over here is my compost. This is my peat moss. I'm thinking about growing some shiitake mushrooms this year, but I don't really know. But this is my compost. It looks good. It looks nice and rich, nice and black. That's just some, I actually grew grapes in that before, but that soil's still good. I'm gonna add some nutrients to it and mix it up. I grew tomatoes in that and tomatoes in that bag. That's still good dirt. Same with this. The plan with one of these bags at least, or maybe I'll just use a tote. I have some tomatoes in the kitchen and potatoes in the kitchen, and they look really good. They're sprouting. They have their eyes bulging out, so I figure I could bring them out here sometime between now and the very 1st of March and get them down in there. That's some more stuff I'm gonna get rid of. I'm keeping those planks of wood and a couple of these bricks because when I lay the tarp down, I'm going to keep them weighted down with bricks. Again, pardon the sniffling and stuff like that. See, here's the little conundrum I'm in. I know grapes like to come back every single year, from what I heard. And I got a couple of nice, sweet green grapes from this bush last season in 2017. See that? So I'm thinking of when I tarp this down, I'll leave a little cut open right there and right there. As I showed you in the A Change Soon Come video, we have strawberries right there coming back. I think that's just simply amazing the way life does things like that. I also have right there, if you remember, that was my sunflower. And in so many ways, that sunflower right there kind of just journeyed with me all last growing season. I'm trying to get my shoes on. It journeyed with me all last growing season. And there was a period, well, a brief period of sadness I had. And on that day, I came out here to talk to that sunflower, and it had fell over. It was its time to go, and it was laying down. So I brought my daughter out here to look at the sunflower and to show her how beautiful it was. And the sunflower was dripping from the face. And it was like it was crying, you know? And my daughter looked at it and she said, "Daddy, why is the sunflower crying?" Well, this was the day before she was leaving to go to Baltimore. And I told her, well, just like me and you, plants too have emotions. And I kind of left it at that. And, you know, I looked at her eyes and watched her pupils kind of dart around in that beautiful skull of hers as she tried to figure out my poetry. I tell poetry to my daughter a lot. I read her a lot of poetry. I write poetry. And it's obscure, some of my writings. It's very, it can be obscure and it can be metaphorical. And I love watching when her eyes kind of just move around, because I see she's thinking. I can see her thoughts. And the thing about it is, she asked someone about this, because when she came back, she said, "Daddy, I told somebody about the crying sunflower." And they said, sunflowers don't cry. You know, that's what they told her. And I beg to differ. We saw it. And that person that she asked, I don't believe is as connected to nature as me and my child, and some of us who view this type of video are. Sunflowers act as they're filters. They're filters for the garden. And what they do is they purify. They pull up toxins from the ground. And they expose them. They expel them in this area here, right through the face. So what we witnessed was something beautiful as it was purifying the ground. But it just so happened to be that it was the day or the day before that my Feodora was taking her journey. So I stand by it, because it didn't do that the day before or the day before that. It did it that day. And none of the other sunflowers did it. It was this particular one that I would come out early in the morning and talk to. And there's a song from Alice in Wonderland that she loves, and she just started to understand it, and as she got older she'll understand it more. And it's the song that goes, "You can learn a lot from the flowers, especially in the month of June." If you haven't heard that song, I'm not saying it's super deep or it takes a genius to really appreciate it, but for a child, it's very deep once it finally connects to your mind, you know. It's kind of like the Jesus walking with me portrait that everybody kind of has in their home of, you know, why were there only one set of footsteps? That's when I was carrying you, that kind of thing. It's not super deep. It's just when it connects to you at a young age, you kind of go, you know, you feel like you discovered something. It sets you on a path of discovery, because the moment of discovering something for any young being is definitely a euphoric moment, because you discovered something new. It's almost like me. We're older, you know. I'm pretty sure some people watching this may be older, some may be younger. But let me say this: we've all seen pratfalls, right? We've all seen pies in the face, and we've all seen those kind of things. Those are hilarious to us, and because we've seen them 1,000 times. But think back to the first time you saw a pie in the face. It was hilarious. So that's how it is when with my child. I love watching her experience the things I already know. And I can live vicariously through her brain and her eyes. So a lot of things that she learns, you know, whether it's, you can learn a lot from the flowers, or watching bees pollinate, and I explain to her exactly what they're doing and how that plays back into the cycle of life. Those are pies right in the face, you know. And it's getting darker. I haven't locked the chickens up yet, but they're trained. They're birds. They're in there. Her birthday is coming. She's going to be 7 in about a week, in a few days. That video I shot of her when she was 5 years old flying a kite right there. That's that same little girl from 2 years ago. I still do everything for her. She still likes to fly her kite. She still likes to ride her bike and draw and go fishing and all those great things. I set her on a good path. So even when I'm not by her side, I pray and I hope that she continues on that path set by a Rastafarian man. Someone, you know, no one has the answers. Don't let anyone tell you they have all the answers to religion, or all the answers to anything, because life is a journey, and if you have all the answers, then step up and lead and try to lead the people. You know, step up. Don't just keep going to that little barn there and speaking amongst your owls and your crows. Let's get out here. There's a lot of pigeons and swallows out here that need a message that you have. So I don't buy into someone has the correct answer. I think collectively we have an answer. It's like screwing in a light bulb that's very high, you know, or doing some other kind of home improvements. It's always better when you have multiple people there to help bounce ideas and refreshing thoughts off of it. What could be? Let's look further into. Let's see what this is. But you do have those geniuses. I believe that. No doubt. But I'm rambling. Now, I woke up this morning. I had a lot on my mind, and I planned on talking about that, but I'll save that for another rambling. Man, oh man. But it looks decent over here. It looks cleaner again. Well, once I get this all done, as I keep saying, and get everything out here, it's gonna look. Hope it looks good. And there's something else. Goodness grief, I gotta talk about that too. The plans are slightly changed about what's happening out here, and I have to be a little more innovative than I thought I would have to be, and we'll discuss that, and maybe I'll come on here and talk tomorrow. But yeah, it changed drastically. But as we push through and be forward in this new generation, let us be triumphant. And won't you help me sing these songs of freedom? All things are possible. Know this. You decide. Most things that happen in this world are a result of you. Remember that. Don't blame anyone for your own shortcomings, unless you've thoroughly taken a look at yourself. Let's go lock up the girls, shall we? Olive, what's up, buddy? Good night, ladies. Buck, buck, buck. May they rest and provide me with, hey, shadow. May they rest and be able to provide me with breakfast in the morning. We have dozens of eggs in the house from them girls, and I didn't collect the eggs today, so I'm pretty sure tomorrow there'll be a mountain of protein in there. So, as always, this is the father, Feodora, proudly representing my daughter. May me and her forever and eternally reflect each other in these times. And as I told her, stay on your P's and Q's. Cross your T's, dot your I's, and be fresh. This is going out to you, little one. If you see this video, complete this sentence. I'll say it after I sign off. As always, this is the father, Feodora, proudly representing, saying peace from the Garden of Feodora. Hey, Feodora, if you're watching this, complete this. When we step up into place, one love.